should be like you, Mel?
Ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Cherries fans from around the world. Welcome back to another episode of Cherry Slaps. Well, I mean, something that I wasn't expecting to see. We're dragging a point away from the weekend, which I know some people will be a bit unhappy about. But I'm pretty happy about, to be honest. So, look, before we get into it, welcome as always, my co-host, Matt Chiverton. Welcome this evening, Mal. How are you doing?
Hi, Ollie. Yeah, all good. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
Good. And obviously, Chris Hamill already in the chat. Evening, Ollie and Mal. Evening, Chris. How you doing?
Hi, Chris. Thanks for joining us. Mr. Reliable.
As always. Look, let's get straight into it because along with some other interesting results at the weekend, the draw didn't keep us in the healthiest position with Everton grasping a win and Brentford also grasping a win, putting us back into ninth position, which obviously to some fans I know will be frustrating and unfortunate. However, taking a point away against Sunderland this late in the season is definitely important. And I think one that was deserved given how Sunderland came out. Pretty damn strong, to be fair. They looked decent. They were holding their own for sure. So keen to get into it. Obviously, Mal, do give us the first 15, 20 minutes, even up until the Sunderland goal, maybe.
As much as that? You're asking a lot already for a Monday evening.
You know how these things work by now, mate.
Well, I'm going to start with the lineups, mate, because without the lineups, you can't really,
Go on.
So obviously, they put Evan Nielsen on the bench, didn't they? To start with, which for all the other bashers, that must have made you really happy. Get out of here! Interesting lineup, to be honest with you. I mean, the back four, obviously, keeper and the back four pick themselves. Mm-hmm. No surprise that Scott and Adams in midfield. Brooksy in. That was, I couldn't have called that, but I think Paul from Oz did actually on the sidelines on Saturday. I think he actually called that. But hey ho, and Tav with Rupee and Ryan. So not bad. Interesting lineup now. Sunderland, they had Granit Xhaka back.
Yep.
For injury. But I think 6 players out injured. So whereas we got players coming back, they seem to be dropping. I think they lost 3 players after the Fulham game last week. Robbie being one of them, their attacker. So Yeah, bit of a shuffling around done by Sunderland. But let's get into it.
Yeah,
If we excuse me, I need to see what I'm reading here.
You already mentioned Xhaka, and he's definitely going to get a call out from me at the end of the game. So yeah, please do get into it.
Well, I mean, you could mention nearly every one of their players, to be honest with you, because hats off to Sunderland.
Mm-hmm.
You came at us from the get-go, and the first sort of, we'll say 25 minutes, being fairish. They got stuck into us. They were knocking it around. They were solid in defence. It was a battle in midfield, virtually all game long. But they were so well organised, really, really well organised. And if we go straight into the third minute, when Alex Jimenez went in on Lafay in the penalty area. Now, Darren and myself were watching this together. Darren down under. Good evening, sir. And we were aghast. To be honest with you, that no penalty was given.
Interesting.
Now, excuse me. I mean, we're Cherries fans, but we're also football fans. We're knowledgeable in as much that basic rules of the game we can understand. How can that not be a penalty?
I tell you exactly why he's not called it a penalty, and it's because it hasn't used any hands.
He had his elbow into his back. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. The contact was behind him. He didn't even play the ball.
Yeah, I can see the argument, especially from the Sunderland.
Have they changed the rules that much? I'm not going to go into the big discussion about other games because there are, over the last fortnight, there have been some really, really poor decisions from the officials where goals have either been given, penalties not given, etc., etc.
I'll be honest with you, I can understand, and I think I would have shared the same thought process had I been sat there watching. It was definitely a gasp moment, like, has he really just done that? This early in the game.
We were both sat there waiting for the ref to point to the spot.
Yeah, and he didn't. And I can. The thing is that I feel like there's an argument as to why he didn't as well. I don't necessarily feel like I know it was from behind and I know it was in the back, but I also don't think it was an elbow first or a hands first thing. It was a weighted shoulder, and I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. I feel like there could be an argument for it that isn't a necessary straight. There's a penalty. Why have you done that?
Now I'm going to move on 3 minutes from here.
Go ahead.
Outside of the area. I can't remember which player it was, but it was Alex Scott did a similar foul outside the area, similar part of the pitch, and the referee gave a free kick to Sunderland. So why can you give a free kick outside the box, not give a penalty kick inside the box? That is my argument.
I get that, and maybe
I'm saying that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm saying that watching a game of football, and not because I'm a Cherries fan.
I understand. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, and again, not pushing back or saying that you're wrong, because I don't think he made the right calls. I agree, but I guess the difference there is you're giving away a penalty and you're giving away a free kick. There are two hugely different goal attempting opportunities, and I think the foul has to be vastly different to subsequently be given a penalty and it be in the penalty box. I think it has to be of a much more dramatic or intense circumstance rather than, outside the box. There's minor things that can happen. I get that. Minor nudges or too much brute force and it can be a free kick. I see that and I get that and I respect that. But I think in the penalty box, it has to be an undisputed penalty, and I don't think that one in the first 3 minutes was.
I mean, everybody's entitled to an opinion, and I just
Here we are. That's why we're here, right? That's why we're here to discuss these moments of madness, because that is what it was.
Madness.
It was a moment of madness.
Madness is right.
Yeah.
And I can understand why the away supporters were, let's just say, livid. I think is a correct word to use. Speaking of which, hats off again. Hats off again. To all the Sunderland fans who travelled all that way down. I mean, they left around midnight time to get down to watch an early kickoff on a Saturday. That what the Premier League's doing to the clubs. There's no thought process there whatsoever. But they come down, they got behind their team. Good for them.
Yeah.
And hope they all got safely home afterwards.
Yeah.
And managed to enjoy, watching Newcastle lose at home to Everton. So it would have made their weekend, sir.
And did you just on that? Did you see that fantastic save? Did you see?
No, I've got a lot of catching up to do.
It was probably, I'd go as far as saying, the best save in this season so far.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard enough about it.
Everton goalkeeper at Pickford, but just brilliant, just insane. One of the best saves I think I've seen in a long time. It was should have been a clear goal, and he's flown to the corner to save it. It was outrageous. Yeah, really, really good. It's worth checking out and going back and watching for sure. But
I can get all the highlights anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anything else we want to talk about?
So obviously you've brought us up to the first 10-15 minutes, right? And I just wanted to kind of back up. We've discussed the fouls and the things that were happening. Obviously, as we mentioned, Sunderland started super briskly.
Brilliant. Really good, good.
Organisation and control and all those nice key words that you'd usually use to describe a team that's come out strong in the first half. And they pressed early. They made us play.
Weren't we?
Yeah, we were definitely patient, but we kind of lacked the build-up intensity. Like, we didn't really have that explosiveness in our play, but we could keep the ball. We were really good at playing some patient possession in that first 20 minutes. But I think ultimately that's what led to them having a goal. And shout out again to the goal scorer. Is it Meander?
Yeah. Yeah. It was Diarra had the shot, which Petro, could he have done better? I think he could, but I mean, he shouldn't. Diarra had so much space on the right. The ball was passed through to him, and they want to defend near him, to be honest with you. And I don't blame him for taking the shot on. In that position, he had the time. And it was a decent effort. All right, Pedro got down, but just palmed it into the feet of Meander, and it was a tap in. So, but at that moment, they deserved that goal. How they started, they very, really decent. Like I said, there were lots of little battles going on all over the field.
Yeah, there were. I want to come to this comment quick because it comes back to sort of the inconsistency of free kicks, penalty, reffing, I guess. And he says you'll never get consistency with football. Man United's penalty was a direct free kick outside the box.
Yeah, I mean, good evening, Paul. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Nice to see you, mate.
I didn't see that. I've seen graphics online, but it's one of those things. The initial pulling of the shirt or whatever, pulling the arm, when it's outside the box, but because the player carries on into the box, when where is it illegal? You know, where do you take it from the moment of contact, which you should do really? The first point of contact.
Well, again, yes and no. I mean, is it only to the point where the contact gets too much or inhibits you from running or balancing or playing? You know, because I mean, if it's minor, you know, and you're breaking into the second half of the pitch and there's a bit of hustle and bustle and you're both still on your feet, then the ref's never going to call it, right? But if you then go down after 30 yards of tugging and roughing and pulling, you can't then bring it back. You know what I mean? Because then it's going to then mess with the whole play of football. Now, I understand what you mean. The lines are so blurred, really, and I guess it comes to the discretion of the referee most of the time. But then there should be some clear set rules. And again, this is probably a conversation for another day because I'm not sure if you've seen VAR's new idea. They're going to be taking corners into consideration, but putting counters on goal kicks, throw-ins. So I don't understand. Again, conversation for another day.
They can't even get it right now with what they've got.
That's what I'm saying. And yet they want to add more stipulations with harder limits on, essentially. That's what they're doing. But I don't think it's going to increase the efficiency or smoothness of play whatsoever. He also says, remember Fernandes' penalty at Dean Court, last minute pen. Paul from Oz.
Yeah. There was a comment I was going to say to the end, but now that you've actually got on the subject, I seriously think that the referees are just too frightened to make decisions these days. Because of the technology that they got behind them, that they're frightened to make a bad call or miss a call or whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, the scrutiny at that level is obviously more intense than any other level for a fourth official, right? So
I know we did have one game. We did have one game at home where the on-field decision stayed.
Yeah.
I can't remember the ref now, but I praised him at the time, saying, you know, well done you for sticking to your guns. You made the call and basically told VAR to go away, leave me alone, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with what I've decided. And that happens so rarely these days. I mean, I'm not just talking about Sunderland or Bournemouth, throughout the Premier League. You know, it's an easy get out, isn't it? Oh, we'll leave it to VAR.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry. I just think they should keep their fingers out of the pie. So anyway, we'll move on because obviously VAR did get involved again later on.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Yeah, and I kind of wanted to come to the half mark there, with obviously VAR and refereeing decisions already shaping the narrative entirely.
There was something else actually happened in sort of 5 minutes after the goal, which is really good. The Bournemouth actually started to move forward and got on the attack. And what a brilliant bit of defending from, so I'm going to try and pronounce his name now, Gitruida. I think they call him Lucha up in Sunderland. That's his first name, Lucharel. Denying Brooks at the back post. Wow, what a last-ditch tackle that was. That was absolutely superb. And I sort of, well done, guys. Thanks for that. You know, he wanted to get on there, Brooksy. It would have been a tap-in. But wow, brilliant defending. Defending.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think there's a couple of names you mentioned there that I'm going to call out at the end, which is interesting. But we'll come to that because obviously going into the second half, Bournemouth came out with, in my opinion, much greater urgency. They were pushing higher.
Actually went straight to Sunderland.
Hey.
The first chance went to Sunderland after 46 minutes.
Well, that's exactly what I was about to say. Yeah, so we were pushing higher, I thought, probing a bit more, and then they were way more dangerous in transition still, with Xhaka being unreal, really, in the midfield. He was not steel. He's just quality. He's just one of those players you can regularly rely on to be consistent.
Yeah, so Diarra had the chance for Sunderland to make it 2-0. But a really good fine save from Petrovic. But really, he should have been doing better as a striker, to be honest with you. It was beautiful through ball. But hey ho, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then we sort of got our act together a little bit. It was like I said, we didn't start the game very well. We were too slow. I did say lethargic, but it's just like, come on, this isn't us. We've been like this the last couple of weeks, slow starting. But second half, we've picked it up and gone for it. Now, must also point out at this moment, second half, Eva-Impact came on for Brooks.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. What was that? 55 minutes or something? 58 minutes.
It was the start of the second half. It was a half-time substitution.
For Eva-Impact?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought that was late. That came at about 58 minutes, didn't it?
Listen, Tosh.
Go on, give it to me.
Eva-Impact, 46 minutes. That's what I say.
Interesting.
Half-time. Came on for Brooks.
Interesting. All right, please continue.
Tosh. I mean, if you don't know Monty Python, it doesn't matter.
I'm too young, I'm going to say.
Oh, go and watch it back. It's brilliant. It is. I'll have to send you some clips. You won't get any work done. You'll be sat there crying. Yeah, so obviously, start the second half, Eva-Impact come on.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a statement of intent, if ever there was one. So there was obviously the ever-basher fan base. They were, on their Kleenex going like this. But I was happy with that because I thought, well, we got the movement up front now. We got the hold-up play. We got, we know what we get from Eva-Impact. And Andoni knows what he gets from him as well. Now, I don't really understand the fact that Brooksy got taken off. Whether it was just a tactical thing, not sure. But Andoni, well done. You've got that spot on. So come on, we're going to get onto a bit of fireworks now.
Yeah.
Because this is what sort of things kicked off a little bit in the 58th minute. Adams and Xhaka, the coming together of. Now, Adams had the ball. Tyler Adams. It was a bit of a strong touch, but he was in a bit of a tussle with a opposition player. Lost his balance, but still wanted to win the ball like he does. I mean, that's typical Tyler Adams football. And because he's slightly off balance, he did get the ball first, but his follow through caught Xhaka on the ankle. All right. Now the referee had already blown up for a foul in favour of Tyler Adams. All right. So I'm pointing in our direction. Obviously, Xhaka rolling around on the floor asking for, an ambulance, whatever. Although he's made of sterner stuff. The yellow card came out for Tyler Adams. Thinking, what's going on here? Did he say something? Was it for the foul? But if it was a foul, he's already given a free kick to Bournemouth. So this is, it just throws so much confusion into the situation. Whether you watch it on TV or whether you're in the stands there, even if you're right there and you can see what had happened, you'd be totally confused. I'm sorry, because it just doesn't happen in football, things like that. Now, the Sunderland fan base are screaming, red card every day, Stonewall. I think, no, it wasn't. Now, I suppose, watching it twice, so I watched the game live, and I watched it back again today, and seeing the replays that Tyler Adams actually did contact the ball, clearly, and it was only because he was trying to land, and with his being disturbed by, was it a foul or not? I'm not really sure. But as you pointed out earlier, little barges or whatever can be given as free kicks out on the field, but not in the penalty area.
Yeah.
So goodness knows. Anyway, and he did catch him, and obviously slow motion makes it look a lot worse than it is. I don't know. I really don't know, but it was just one of those incidents where, come on, ref, what are you doing here? I've no idea.
Well, Paul from says if Coco,
Yeah.
commentating said that Adams was pushed into the tackle.
Into the tackle. I mean, he certainly got a nudge. Whether it was a fully blown push or whatever, I don't know. But it took him off balance. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Because when you're running at pace and you get knocked, it's very difficult to, try and stabilise yourself to keep your momentum going as you want to. I don't know. Yellow card. I just think it was an unfortunate incident, if you like. That would be my take on it. And that's not being pro Bournemouth. That's not being anti Sunderland. That is being, just looking at it from a football point of view. It could have been Arsenal, Fulham, or whoever. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those incidents where you think, what's he done here? And the one thing I would like to know is, what did the referee and VAR say to each other? Which is something we never get, which I think the fans would be entitled to get, to listen to. Very, very strange. Very, very strange indeed.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have a very good game, did Mr. Ref, did he? He was
it was all over hot and cold.
But I think, I'm not saying for one side or the other. I think just in general, he made a lot of poor decisions right across the game for both sides, to be honest with you.
Go on, lead us perfectly from that into Tavernier running down the left-hand side of the pitch, and
I can do better than that.
Well, please do.
Because on the right-hand side, the ball was played up to sort of halfway line, and there was a foul, and I think it was on Alex Scott.
That's right.
And it was a Sunderland player. He didn't want to move away from the ball. He turned his back, and Scotty pushed him away. And Ryan Christie, who was eyes wide open, sent this beautiful ball right across the field to Tavernier. And probably one of the best crosses you'll see all season. Sent it over. And our man, Eva, head and shoulders above the rest. So, in with the shoulder. Once again, it was, I mean, the cross, it was like, it was absolutely brilliant. And then we had to wait again because VAR. Oh my God. It's just like, it doesn't stop, does it? It just doesn't stop. So I'm thinking, Darren and myself, we're thinking, what's going on here? And Darren's shouting at his television. And I said, calm down, have a beer. And then it come up on the screen, checking for possible handball. I said, how can it be handball when it's up here? Anyway, it's fortunately the goal stood correctly. For the time it's been taking to sort these decisions out, they had the incident with should it be a possible red, should it be a handball, not a goal. I was just thinking, it's just killing the game, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely pulls the steam out of it for sure.
There was I've got a feeling it was AFC Bournemouth. They put a short up or a reel, whatever you like, on Facebook. The other angle for Evan Nilsson's goal, so like the opposite side from where Tav crossed it.
Yep.
And it's really excellent to watch, and that is something they didn't show on the TV. Right now, if all the fans watching on television had seen that, it'd have been clear it wasn't even a handball. So it just shows how come you can watch it online, but the TV cameras don't show it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, 10 points and a fantastic goal. Yeah, we got a really decent cross in from Tav, and as you said, free kick leading up to Tav being able to deliver that cross.
exactly that.
Evan Nilsson, I think that's exactly what Bournemouth needed at the time of the game to claw us back into taking a point at home and continuing our unbeaten run.
Yeah.
Also, super important for Evan, right? I think this was a big confidence booster for him to be able to get that equaliser and bring a point away. Do you agree?
Yeah, he's probably saying, look, for all those that don't, believe in me, this is what I can do. I mean, he didn't yes, he was happy with the goal, but he didn't celebrate like he would normally do. He was quite happy to, plot back to the halfway line and let's go again, sort of thing. But it was one of those games where chances were few and far between. It was like half chances, if you like, but clear cut. Not that many. Not that many. But it was still, it was continuing to be a battle right across the field. Yeah, a little bit of niggly stuff going on here and there. Obviously, Ryan Christie got involved with Lefay 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
In the end, he ended up getting a yellow for his endeavours, if you like. I think Christie just got a little bit fed up with him going down. Not so much easily, because they were solid tackles, but maybe trying to con the ref into giving a bit more than they should have done.
Yeah.
And they showed the replays, and you could see there was no contact there as such. It was probably good. But the third one, Christie didn't hold back. He just said, "I've had a gut full of you, mate. I'm going to take you out," and he did. So,
but Sunderland also pressed quite a bit in those kind of final.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. Sorry.
So disallowed goal in the closing minute.
It was in the 80th minute. You're quite right. Yeah, it was offside, rightly so.
Yeah.
But they had, their build-up play was good. It was compact. It was steady. There's some decent rhythm about them. When we didn't press them, they were pretty spot on, to be honest with you. And yes, they used more to the left than they did to the right, because obviously getting more success. But I mean, it's a difficult one to judge. Which way do you go? If you want to play wide, right, you're going to have the players in the middle.
Yeah.
There was an opportunity, wasn't there? There was what's his name, Ballard? Is that his name? The centre back. Yes, Ballard.
Yeah, that's right. Ballard. Yeah.
He had an opportunity from I don't know, a cross or whatever, or you could have even been the corner. Just headed it wide, and that's when Evan Nilsson got injured. He got a dead leg. Ballard actually went into him. I mean, accidental. There was nothing there.
This one here, I thought Ballard Sunderland's centre back was very physical throughout.
They were brilliant, Paul. To be honest with you, their centre backs, they were really outstanding. There was both defences weren't bad at all. It was, and that's why for me, over 90+ minutes, 1-1 was so fair, because they cancelled each other out. It was only, how can you put it? I mean, the 2 clearest cut chances that they had, there were 2 goals, and that was it. But it was interesting. It was a really good battle. It was hard, borderline some cases, but that's what you're going to get. In the Premier League, there's no easy games in the Premier League, and I think, to be honest with you, 1-1, I'd take that every day of the week.
Yeah, look, 100%. After everything that we've discussed, obviously Sunderland being sharp in the first half, us having more control in the second half, there was end-to-end action. I feel like a draw is fair on both sides with the moments that occurred in the game, without doubt. I think some fans, as we said at the start, I think there'll be a debate that was the point enough, but I think Sunderland rode their early goal really well, and they kept us at bay. And sometimes in these games, there's not much that we can do as a side, which is unfortunate, but it happens at times, right?
But the onus is on us to get back into it, isn't it?
Exactly that, yeah. Which only gives me hope. I know that some of you may have seen a slightly depressing title to the Dean Court Social earlier, which I will bring up because I don't think we're going to lose at Brentford. And I never want to see a video that's named that again, because we're going to go into tomorrow night off, Saturday's 1-1 draw, looking to get over that 40-point mark and essentially try and level out with Brentford because they're 7th at the moment, which gives us a really good chance if we can get some points at Brentford tomorrow night. So I'm in that. To close out the game, obviously there's a couple of standout players that we mentioned for Sunderland. The normal ones, Mayenda, who scored, Xhaka was obviously fantastic, and a couple of others. We struggle sometimes, right, in these games to pick out Bournemouth standout players and the reasons why. Who were you two?
Well, I think really for endeavour, creativity, I'd go for Tav this week. He had an attempt or two in the first half. I think Alex Scott was he was okay. Not his fluent self. Trying.
Yeah.
Alex Jimenez, as good as could be expected. Not above average, I would say.
Yeah.
I've seen him have better games, obviously. Fair, solid for me.
Yeah.
He looked really, really good. Certainly went forward a lot more against Sunderland than he has been. Ryan. Yeah. What a player. He didn't have quite so much of the ball as I'd liked him to have had.
Mm-hmm.
But his vision, his runs that he does, his passing, he's really, really, for a 19-year-old. The commentator did say, the co-commentator, he actually mentioned that maybe he will drop on the bench for a couple of games. Don't expect too much of him all the way through every game. They'll build him up for next season, which is, a fair point. But he's getting his minutes in. He's getting a feel for the Premier League. He's happy on the pitch. He knows what he's doing. Who knows? I mean, he just might earn his place there. Every game. It's naturally up to Andoni to decide. But I'm happy to see him on the park to start with.
Yeah.
At the moment. So it's a conundrum for Andoni. Who do you start up front? And felt a bit sorry that Adley had to make way.
Yeah.
Because he's improved over the previous week. Very, very difficult. With the others coming back as well.
Yeah.
Just one pointer on Andoni's press conference today. He was asked about Eva-Nielsen, if he's going to be fit enough for tomorrow. And he said, well, it was only a dead leg, is it? It was only sort of a knock. He'll train this evening and then see how he is tomorrow. Maybe he'll start, maybe he won't. He doesn't know yet. So, so watch this space thing. So, I mean, apart from that, injuries, we haven't got anything new really. Just a question mark over Eva-Nielsen.
Yeah.
But exactly. I think Tav would be my standout player for the Cherries.
Excellent.
And they've got here, I mean, Ballard got a 7.6 and Alderete got an 8.0. Obviously depends, Xhaka is just, he's mental. He is. I mean, he's probably the best signing Sunderland could have ever made. Absolutely admirable professional, and he gives it everything. To be honest, I was quite pleased to see him be substituted after 75 minutes. But I think now it's only down to the fact that he, been out for 3 weeks, whatever. Don't give him a full 90. So, yeah. But all in all, yeah, decent game of football.
Good.
Like I said, I'm not going to even waste my breath on the ref anymore. It's pointless. But we go again tomorrow.
We do indeed. We've got.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Chris Hubble.
Well done, Chris.
Yeah. What do you reckon? What do you reckon for tomorrow? 3-3. Love that. I'm going to back that all day long. Backing that.
I really think it's going to be a silly game tomorrow. I really do.
I reckon we're going for Ryan and Krupi to start again. Is Adley's in, isn't he? He's not injured. I reckon he could be starting.
He's not injured. He was sub on Saturday, so
yeah, I reckon he could be starting as well. It could be an interesting game, and I don't think we're going to. So
sorry. Once again, Andoni's done it, hasn't he? He's an impact off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Very clever man.
I just want us to see us start quicker. I'd like to see us start on the front foot.
We've also got one of the lads in the background here saying 3-1 Cherries win, which we love. Love that.
Hello, Craig. Thank you for joining us. 3-1 to the Cherries. Yeah, I think you said something like that on your what was it? Yeah.
Well,
show yesterday.
Fingers crossed from my point of view. It does mean you lucky folk will get another Cherry Slaps this week.
No.
So,
no.
Unfortunately, for Mal, we will see you again in probably 48 hours.
I'm going to put the white flag out.
Good luck for tomorrow, wherever you are watching it. My fingers are crossed, as I'm sure all of yours are. I'm going for a 3-3. I'm going to back Mal. We've got some 3-1s in the comments. It'd be fantastic to come away with a point. So let's not be disappointed if that is the case. Up the Cherries and enjoy the rest of your Monday.
Up the Cherries, and thanks for joining us.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
I should be like you, Mel.